Get mantra tracks and healing MP3s at JasonGallant.ca.
Today I thought I'd talk to you about who you are. So much of this journey is about discovery of that. But the discovery isn't through a new bunch of thoughts about who you are. It's about an experience that is beyond your thoughts. It's an experience of you that bursts forth when you let go of all the limiting beliefs of yourself, all of the thoughts, and all of the identification with thought. So that's why a lot of people come to a spiritual teacher, they say, I want to fix this in my life, I want to fix that in my life, I want to do this, I want to do that, how do I deal with this and that? That's not what a spiritual teacher does, and that's not really what the spiritual path's about. The spiritual path is about remembering the source of you before you overlaid a bunch of stuff over top of it. Experiences, traumas, likes and dislikes, all of these things. They are all taking the infinite into the finite. You're narrowing down the infinite that you are into something. And the unraveling of that something is the discovery of the infinite, which is you. So when you are suffering, this is a good sign that you are in the finite. You are identifying with a certain collection of thoughts and feelings that are all clumped together. And the spiritual journey is about reverse engineering this. It's about letting go of the thoughts that are keeping the feelings there, and then the feelings unravel and flow through you, and all of this phenomena happens, and then there's a remembrance from that unraveling. But the remembrance is not here. It's an experience that bursts forth that is less conditional. Many gurus have talked about it and called it the unconditional experience. This experience is within you, regardless of what's going on with the ego and regardless of what's going on in your life. There may be absolute mayhem and conflict and battle and everything going on here, but at least there's the kingdom of heaven within. That's why some people misunderstand spiritual teachers or gurus. They say, oh, if you're experiencing this heavenly bliss, then you don't need to eat. Why are you charging money for this or that? There's this misconception about the experience itself. But when this experience is within you, you can live life as a normal human. There is a normal human experience that goes on, but you are not suffering. That's the difference. You become very practical about what needs to happen in order for harmony, for the greater good to happen. Everything you do has more of a mutual benefit. It's not about separation. So the deeper you are into this unconditional, the more this unconditional starts to infiltrate your life. Much to the disappointment of the egos that are before you. Because the egos don't want to die. You see, egos want to survive too, even when they're in suffering. So it is the difficult part of spiritual teaching, which is why most of the time I give that up. I just do it on YouTube here most of the time, because it's not something that everybody wants. Some people want to embrace their form of the illusion, even though it's causing them suffering, and that's okay. The unconditional can unconditionally love that too. You are not a man, you are not a woman, you are not a human, you are not any of these physical things. So if you're not any of these physical things, then you definitely are not your job, you are not your accomplishments, you are not your relationships. You may be the love that threads through all of it, but you are not the conditions that were imposed upon the love. So if you have conditions upon you, conditions upon what you think you are or who you think you are, practice the sadhana, the spiritual practice is called sadhana. Practice letting them go, letting go of them conditions, even the little ones at first. With me, it was a big one. I was very identified with being an athlete, and I had to let go of my identification with that. And that's how my spiritual journey began. You may have different conditions. That's where forgiveness comes in too, because sometimes you may identify with your mistakes or identify with certain things that happen in your life and say, that was my fault, I shouldn't have done that. Let those go too. There's a greater intelligence that threads through all of us if we allow it. And you have to trust in that. Well, you don't have to trust in it, but there's an immense amount of pleasure in doing so. So I hope this helps you remember who you are. Take care for now.